What's up everyone? Going to be doing a quick glass shower wall installation today, a quick Sunday job. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing this MAXX glass wall panel here. So I'll go to walk through the steps I do to install this stuff, and we're going to be installing it over here. It's going to be going on this side of the shower. It'll probably be around here, come out. It's going to have a little door that opens there, and that way it gets rid of the curtain. So right now Ashley's unpacking everything, and we'll get going from there. Alright, so she's got everything unpacked. It's quick, simple. Glass door. Got your glass panel here. Just got to drill into some tile with some trims, some silicone, and we'll just keep going from there. So let's go. Alright, so we have our first piece here. Now, this is already pre-drilled for screw holes. So all we do is place it on the wall. Right? And that'll basically go there. That holds the glass panel in place. So I'm going to mark all those holes and drill them in with a tile bit. And then from there we got my laser level it up. So keep going. Okay, so here I've got my laser level. I've centered it with this the tub edge, and if you look along this edge, it goes up here and all the way up. So now with this piece, I put it in, and I use the laser level to line up the centered line on this aluminum, so you know it's 100% level. You mark your holes here. Alright, so I've marked my hole locations here. There's 3 of them, and then now I'm going to be using this carbide tip bit you buy at Home Depot. Right here I'm using the 5/16 bit. Now this will go through the tile nice and easy. So I'll show you how to do this right now. Alright, so all 3 of my holes are drilled out here. Next is to get the aluminum bracket installed with the supplied screws. So we'll get through there. If there's no backing in here, there's usually metal or plastic washers that fit in there, and actually you can put that in there and it'll grab. So I'll get that screwed in now. One thing I like to do before I screw everything in is I like to put a bead of silicone right down the center of this whole track. And that way it's nice and sealed from behind. That way water's not going to come out through it and come out onto the tile from the trim. So I usually do this and then go ahead and screw it in. And as well as I like to put some silicone on the heads of the screws while it's going in. So I'll show you that next step. Okay, so another reason why I put silicone on the back is actually when you place it on, the silicone will hold it in place. That way you can re-level it before screwing screws into it. So right now I got the laser set up again, right down the middle of that track, so that you know that's 100% level. So now I'm just going to screw them in. Okay, I put all the screws in. It's nice and level all the way up. Next step is put the glass panel into there, and then down below there's some trim caps that go here to seal the top against the glass itself, and then we put the door on and it's going to be swinging outwards. So, and then also too is at the top of the panel there's a 45-degree brace that goes back to the tile that we have to screw into. So we'll get that done as well. And then that should be it for this job. So we'll get the next steps going right here now. Alrighty, so Ash is getting the trim pieces on. We're just going to make sure that's flush with the inside there. This is the bottom of the glass. So this foam gasket's going to seal the glass against the tub. So we'll get this installed and then we'll put it in place. Alright, so this is the glass panel. So now we've taken the double-sided tape, peeled that off so that'll stick. Now what you do is you slide this in into this channel. So just gotta line it up. There we go. That should fit right in. And just make sure your glass is nice and straight, and then we'll stick it down. Okay, so once you have the bottom strip down, you cut the rubber seal nice and flush, and then you have this little trim cap that goes in to there. So you put that in, that's done. And then what you want to do also, next step, is just make sure your panel's low. Put a level on it. Make sure it's nice and level, because the next step, we're going to come into the shower here, and these little holes, we're going to be putting screws in there to secure that panel down. So I'll get that going now. Alright, so these are the screws. So basically these white things are the washers. The screw goes in there, and then there's some plastic clips that match the trim, and they snap on to hide the screws. And then these screws will be the thing holding the glass panel into the glass track. So those, once again, go into these holes here. Alright, one thing I gotta mention here too is this brand here don't supply self-tapping screws for these holes, so you're gonna have to pre-drill it. So just look at your manufacturer's instructions for the size of drill bit you need, and then these will go in nice and easy. Okay, screws are in now. So there's a cap that clips onto these white plastic things, but don't do that right away. Make sure everything fits first before putting the caps on, because sometimes those caps are hard to get off if you have to unscrew everything. So just leave those for now and put the caps on very last thing when you do all that silicone. Alright, next up we have a 45-degree bracelet we gotta screw in. So we're gonna mark these holes on this side, make sure this bar is level, and then follow the manufacturer's directions on how far this bracket is gonna be off that wall. For us, it's 10 inches to the back side here. So we'll get this temped up, mark our holes, drill them the same steps as we did with the glass trim edge there, and then we'll screw that in, tighten those up, that'll be good, then we'll get onto the door. Okay, so that bracket's screwed in, nice and tight. That's the support for the glass wall. Next step, we'll get the glass on. So basically, on this panel, it looks exact same like this. You have these rubber gaskets here that protect the metal from the glass from scratching and basically busting the tempered. And then around here is a rubber washer as well. So that'll fit in the holes on the glass and the wall panel. And then this plate you'll need to put on with the exact washers on this side as well. And then screw it in here and here. So you do that at the top, you do that at the bottom, and then now we're ready to put the door on. So we'll get that done, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, now that the glass door is on, these are all leveled. We've adjusted everything, put the trims on. Now we can go back and we will clip these plastic clips in, finish off those screws, and then the next step is to clean up the edges everywhere, and then we will get the silicone on and we'll be done with the project. Okay, so get some clear silicone. You want to silicone this edge all the way down to there. You want to get this edge from here to here, there, and then do a small bead all the way along this edge here. Once that's done, read the instructions on silicone as to when you can let moisture touch it. Usually they dry it in about 30 minutes or so. That's, I think, typical nowadays, but once that's done, that shower's a wrap, and we'll enjoy the rest of our Sunday. Okay, so siliconing is done all the way around and up. Now I've had years of experience, so I know how to get a nice bead right off the bat, so I don't have to do any taping. But for anyone who's not used to doing this, I suggest you some tape along your edges, and then silicone so you don't get like massive chunks and it looks like garbage. But anyway, so that's done, and now this is what the shower looks like. So just a simple one door, one panel, aluminum trim all the way down. And that's it, that's all. Alright, now this project's done. Thanks to my lovely wife for the help. It's a good job, so this job's a wrap. And I'll do a recap right now on how it was all put together. Okay, so first thing, put the wall trim on, nice and level, centered, so you get a nice consistent joint here, I guess you should say. So screw that to the wall, and you put your glass panel into that, with the seal underneath the glass. And then once you know this is all leveled and plumb, you come in, you screw the screws in here. Screw them in with the plastic clips on them, but leave the caps off just in case you have to take this off again, because those can be a pain to remove. So once that's done, and you know this is all plumb and level, you can start working on your door. You get your door installed, do your hardwares, make sure you put your plastic edges on your doors everywhere. As well, let's get this bracket on. So this is as simple as screwed to the back of this glass with rubber bumpers, and then this gets over here into the wall and screwed to the wall. Follow your manufacturer's dimensions for where this comes off the wall. Once all that's done, you know everything's plumb and level, the door fits nice with the trim underneath, then you can finally put your caps on, get those done, and then you can silicone everywhere. And then it's all sealed. And now this project's a wrap. Alright, so this project's done. So now if you like this project, feel free to hit the subscribe button on the right hand corner of your screen there. Hit the bell so that you get notifications for any other projects I post out. And share if you like it. Maybe someone else that you can think of could use some tips from this video. Share it to them, and I'd be grateful. So anyways, I'll see you on the next time.